Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about how the MCU keeps nerfing that of the Kingpin twice now already. In his MCU introduction and everything, this man has literally got his butt whooped by that of like two people who are half his size, and two of those people are both women. And I have nothing against women beating up men. I love Xena to death. I want to see Xena beat up on people all the time. It's not that, but it's just the fact that like it's the Kingpin of all people. Like, he's not an easy person to beat. When men fight him on screen, whether it be cartoon or movies or a TV show, it's not an easy task. It takes a good while to get that man down. And it's easy to get him down because if you can distract him, or if you have a lot of agility, then you have your best bet of trying to defeat this man. But he is literally unstoppable. And yet in the MCU, twice now he got his butt whooped, handed to him by that of two females who are half his size. And I'm just kind of like, why does the MCU keep doing this? Granted, he is human. Other villains we've had in the MCU, Thanos, Loki, can't really think of too many people off the top of my head, but even the Ironmonger, God, who's another villain? That giant armor thing that Thor fought in the first movies. You know, it took a good while to take them down, but they are magical or got powers and stuff like that. So, okay, granted. But the Kingpin is just human, and he's fighting right now just human people. And every time I've seen him on screen, the human people have a hard time defeating him, except for like two females. And I hate saying this over and over, because if you ever watch my channel, you know I am not one of those toxic people who scream woke, scream agenda, scream pandering, scream woman this and woman that. You know I have a lot of respect for like women and strong women and stuff like that. But this is just laughable. I cannot believe it. And because the thing about the Kingpin is this, people have to remember something. The man is huge. He's tall. He's bulky. He only has about 10 or maybe 5% body fat. So let's say, okay, say he only has 10% body fat, right? The other like 90% of it is straight up muscle. He's basically a rhinoceros and everything. He is a tank. The man is literally just a brick wall, and it's hard to take him down. And to give a couple of examples of those, okay, every time I've ever seen him on screen, starting with Spider-Man the animated series, it was that Daredevil crossover. And so the Kingpin fought Spider-Man. Spider-Man thought, oh, I got super strength, I got webs, I got agility, I can take him down easy. Kingpin tossed his behind around and let him know how much of his body is made of muscle. So he basically, I think he punched the crap out of Spider-Man, and then he basically just put him in a bear hug the entire time. And he crushed Spider-Man. If it wasn't for Spider-Man's strength, he would be dead or broken or paralyzed. That is how strong he is. Spider-Man could not defeat him, and he needed the help of Daredevil. Daredevil came in to distract him and everything, and then they had to chase him around, and then they was able to defeat him, but it was the Chameleon who took his place because they could not defeat him on their own. Then Daredevil went toe-to-toe with him. But he could not beat this man in a fist fight. They literally just fought with their canes and everything. It was just basically like a sword match. And even then, Daredevil had a hard time. And the only way Daredevil was able to get a little bit of an upper hand on this man is Daredevil had to distract him with his family. Kingpin loves his family to death. You mess with his family, he will break your neck. And so when he told him the police has like arrested your son and that your empire is coming to a crumble, Kingpin lost his cool and went berserk. And that was the only way he was able to get a little bit of an upper hand on Kingpin, because he is that hard. Now, the next time I've seen Kingpin was in the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. This man was pure muscle and everything. They decided, and then so like basically Daredevil and Kingpin fought, and Daredevil got flung around that entire room. He could not fight that man. He distracted him by hitting the walls that had like water dripping down in them, and it rained all in like, you know, the room. Because of this, it made Kingpin's vision blurry, but Daredevil was able to see through things like that. So he was able to get the upper hand by distracting the senses of that of the Kingpin and then crushing both his kneecaps. That is how he was able to defeat him, because I'm not joking. He literally took Daredevil in two hands and tossed him up, hit the ceiling, and then fell down on the table. The man is legit that strong. And if it wasn't for him distracting Kingpin, he would never be able to defeat him. The third time, I don't really remember what happened. It was that MTV Spider-Man show where it was a variant of the Ben Affleck's Daredevil Kingpin. And this Kingpin was just odd. He always ate cheeseburgers. He was a little bit more comedic. He had a cane that shot out lightning like in the comics. And I forget how Spider-Man defeated him. I think Spider-Man roped him up with his web, and then there was a helicopter and it just like pulled him in or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, so let's move on from this. Then of course the next time we ever saw Kingpin was in the Netflix Daredevil series. Him and Daredevil fought in the first season at the end. It was a hard task. Daredevil had to pull out all the stops. He mostly used his billy club to whack the Kingpin as hard as he could many times, then using his agility to flip around him, distracting Kingpin, because Kingpin isn't that fast. So with him bouncing around and all this other stuff. And the billy club was an extra like leverage he needed to like subdue the man. And it took a lot. And I mean, it took a long time to get him down. The next time they squared off was in the ending of season 3. I've talked about this and how beautiful it was. Basically, it took Bullseye and Daredevil, the strength of 2 grown men, to whoop on the Kingpin. They both did it simultaneously, but they were also fighting each other. So Daredevil had 2 people to fight. And so Kingpin or Daredevil took Bullseye out really easily. And then it was just Kingpin and Daredevil literally just punch him as many times as it could, but it would not affect him. The only thing that caused Daredevil to defeat Kingpin is that Kingpin turned around, looked at his wife, and smiled because he loves his wife. This gave Daredevil the edge he needed to basically swing for the fences and bloody up Kingpin. And he literally painted the back of a wall with Kingpin's blood. Like, it was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. But it literally took the strength of 2 men and a distraction to take him down. Then we get the MCU version, which is this the MCU version or is this the Netflix version? Because now the Netflix series are added to the timeline of the MCU. I am very confused as to if this is a variant or what. But either way, first time we see Kingpin in the MCU, he's wearing that goofy comic book outfit and he's fighting against Kate Bishop's Hawkeye. She is like a 19-year-old girl and she's completely half his size and he's tossing her around like a rag doll, but every once in a while she's able to like maneuver around him, but he's still tossing her around. She defeated him by using a trick arrow and using that little coin trick that Hawkeye taught her, and I think an explosion happened and it knocked him off his feet. Either way, she whooped on him very easily once she got the momentum. She didn't distract him or nothing like that. She had to use like a gadget, but that gadget was strong enough to take him out. And this was very shocking and people could not believe how easily he was taken down. Now we get to Echo. In Echo, I don't even think those two threw punches at each other. Basically, she took him. Now, she's a skilled fighter, but she's not as skilled as Daredevil because Daredevil took her out. But here's the problem. They gave her a magical power in this show. Somehow she has the ability to heal, and she has the ability to call on all her female ancestors that help give her strength and all this other stuff. That magic was enough to subdue the Kingpin. To, like I said before, I don't even think she threw a punch at him. She basically went Aang the Last Airbender on him, fighting Ozai. She basically took her hands, put it like I think on his chest, and it stunned him. And then she took her hands and placed it on his forehead, and she went inside his mind to heal his angry side. Similar to how Aang shut off the power of Ozai, she is trying to shut off the angry side and heal all his anger, and it messes with his head to where I don't even know if she fully fixed him, but he got out of it and basically like, "What did you do to me? What did you do to me?" On his knees, just freaking out. I'm just like, dude, like, this is what it took to take the Kingpin down? Like, just some Avatar Last Airbender crap? I could not believe it. I'm just like, and it was only within a couple of seconds too. I'm just like, he is the Kingpin. He is like literally the human version of Thanos. It is so embarrassing how they keep doing the Kingpin, because I like the Kingpin because of Spider-Man the animated series. He's on league with me with the Green Goblin, Lex Luthor, the Joker. He's smart, he's ruthless, he's strong. And the fact that every time I see a dude try to fight him, it takes a long time or the help of somebody else. But when it comes to the MCU, it's like within seconds. I don't get that. So now this version of Kingpin's going on over to the Daredevil series. And I'm just like, dude, if Daredevil, if it's hard for him to take down Kingpin, then he needs to retire. Because two women half his size has literally whooped on this dude. And that don't make no sense. And I don't know why the MCU keep doing this crap. Because for the most part, the Echo show didn't really have no Disney baby humor in it. There was a couple of jokes here and there, but it was very minimum. They're getting very more serious now. But then when it came to him, like, thank God, this one is not like the one from Hawkeye, because he was just atrocious. But this was a much better Kingpin, similar to Netflix. But yet he got his butt whooped within seconds and stuff. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.